Guess who finished a rough draft today? Oh yeah, oh yeah. That would be me. So what are the first things I do after I finish typing the end? Well, the first thing is gloating. That's pretty obvious. And then it gets a little more serious. Right away, I always take notes of the things I know I have to change. These are probably things that I've already written into the manuscript so that I know when I'm scrolling through I'm going to see them and go back and correct those things. Sometimes it's a character I've forgotten about or a plot line that I kind of let trail off. I make notes all through my manuscript to remind myself to go back and fix things later. So something I'll do right away before the manuscript sort of fades in my mind a little bit is just sit down and write myself a whole page of notes of things that I know for sure I'm going to have to go back and fix. Like, for example, I know there's a whole whack load of things I'm going to have to change in this one because about halfway through I decided to do something completely different with the plot line, and so the first half doesn't really match up with the second half. Oh yeah, this manuscript is a train wreck. After that, I'm kind of sick to death of the manuscript, and honestly, I need a break. And you know what? You do need a break after writing 50 to 80,000 words. You need to sit down and let that manuscript sort of cool off. You need to put some distance between you and the words you've just written. That way you can come back and read it more objectively and see the things you need to fix. This time I'm only giving myself about a week. Usually I like to give myself more than a week, but in this case, this book needs to go out soon. I'm already feeling a little bit like I'm behind my own personal schedule and I want to get this done relatively soon. So a week at least for me. Stephen King in his book on writing suggests more than that. I think he leaves it for 3 or 4 weeks, possibly even a couple of months. Just trunk that manuscript and move on to something else just to give yourself a little space. After that, I'm the type of person that prints it out because I really need a physical copy in my hand. So I reread it and I take notes in all of the margins, and if I can't take notes in the margin, I use sticky notes or write on the back. I know there are some people that prefer to keep their manuscript clean and write in a notebook with corresponding page numbers, which is totally fine, but personally I like to make a total mess of the manuscript and just write all over it. After that, I'm ready for the first round of revisions. Basically tearing the sucker apart. I make notes on the big things first, like this scene doesn't belong here, cut out this scene, put in a new scene. I know for this manuscript in particular, there will be a lot of things that I'm taking out and adding in. It's just going to be a whole lot of work in general. So I always take care of big picture stuff and leave the little nitty gritty stuff for later. I never do line edits until the very ending. It's the last thing I do because I know a lot of the time if I do line edits right away, I'm going to be working on a lot of stuff that might not even be there at the end of the manuscript. And I always do at least probably 3 rounds of revisions, but for this one I'm thinking it might be more because the manuscript is huge. I know there's a whole lot that's going to be taken out and put in. Whole new scenes are going to be written. I know there's just going to be a lot of work. I don't know whether I'm looking forward to it or I'm terrified. Can you be both of those things? So anyways, that's what's going on with writing right now. I am very much looking forward to my week off where I can start on a new project and sort of let this one sit. And I am excited / scared to dive into revisions, and so that's sort of my process, and I'll probably be making videos along the way as I edit. I always learn new stuff when I edit. I think once again I will be following Susan Dennard's website recommendations about editing. If anyone hasn't heard the WordNerds talking about her website and her methods of editing, I doubt it, but I will leave a link in the description below. She's got some really great step-by-step editing advice in extreme detail on her website. So I'll be following along with her layout, and if you're editing a manuscript, let me know. I'm very interested in hearing about your process. Just leave a comment below. I'm always open to advice and experimenting, and my style changes a little bit and evolves a little bit every time I do this. And I try new stuff all the time, so I'd be very interested to hear how you guys approach your editing and your second and third draft. So let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, the WordNerds have our live chat, and we would love to see you there on Sunday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.